welcome to another exciting edition of Edu News 360. I'm Faustina Safo. Coming up in this bulletin, Ministry of Education faces out the double track system for the 2022 academic year. We'll get your thoughts on this development.
Double track system, as we speak now, it's not in place.
Also, the Ghana Education Service hints at plans to review the computerized school selection and placement system. We'll engage management of the system here on Edu News 360.
People will say, I didn't get my school and I have been put here, I have been put there. That is why we continue to make a few changes here and there, do reviews.
And in our News in Focus segment, we'll get to meet 4 of our finalists for the Joy Learning Essay Club competition.
A teacher called me that I was part of the top 10 finalists.
Do stay with us because we have details of all the stories and more. Thanks for staying with us. Now to our first story. The Ghana Education Service says it is considering a review of the computerized placement system to improve service delivery in the future. It comes as scores of frustrated parents daily throng the National Resolution Center at the Nat Hall here in Accra with various concerns about the placement of the awards. We'll hear from the Director General of the Ghana Education Service shortly. But first, my colleague Michael Ashali has been engaging some parents at the Resolution Center.
How many days have you been coming here?
Oh, just this morning.
Just this morning. Yes. Okay. What was the issue about?
My daughter hasn't get a school, so I'm coming for school for her. I'm looking for school.
So of the 6 schools, she was not given any of them.
No.
I mean, what have they given any reason for that?
No, they haven't given any reason. They collect all the forms, and they told us we should go. They will call us back after they finish.
Okay. So what schools did she choose?
Abri Sectec and Mansinai. Okay. Right now, they give us 3 schools for which to choose. So I'm expecting them to call us.
So which 3 schools did you choose?
Right now, no, we have chosen Abri Sectec now again, and Mansinai and Kropon. Okay. Yeah.
But you didn't get it the first time. What was the assurance they are getting this time around?
I don't know, but I hope we will get it. Okay. They are working hardly. They are working hardly. So I hope we will get it. In the few days, we will get.
But her colleagues started school yesterday. They at least reported to school yesterday. Are you not worried about that?
My daughter is swollen. Okay. It nearly take a drug, killing herself. So I'm pleading for them to help me to get to school for my daughter. The daughter name is Ohinewa Princess Ohinewa Jaba. So please help me to get school for her.
I'd really love to meet her. Is she around here? She could come here. Let me speak to her briefly. Ohinewa, Daddy tells me that of your 6 schools, you did not get any of them. I mean, how did that make you feel when you checked? You didn't get any of the schools that you chose?
Oh, I was very sad. Yeah.
I mean, so to what extent? What were your expectations when you, after writing the BC, and you saw a result? What were your expectations?
I thought I'll get my first choice or my second choice, but actually I didn't get none of them.
Some of your friends went to school yesterday and you are still here, don't even know your fate. How does that make you feel? Does it compound your sadness?
Yes.
Right now that you've come here, what are you hoping to get out of this?
Well, I hope I'll get a school, a better school.
Arnold, so what are you exactly here to address?
Last week. About my small girl. We write everything that they say we should done. We done it, but since yet we don't see anything. That's why I came here again. Yeah.
But what have they, today you are here? What have they been telling you?
I came here because of I came here last week, and I brought the paper there. They didn't call us. That's why I came here again.
We can now hear from the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwa, who says so far more than 80% of eligible students have been placed. He also hinted that his outfit will consider a review of the computerized placement system to help improve its effectiveness.
So far, it's been good, but we don't expect that we wouldn't have issues. We expect that we will continue to have issues. And it is just because we don't have enough space in each school that people subscribe, especially the schools that people subscribe a lot. We don't have enough space to take all the people who subscribed and duly qualify. So if you take a school like, let's say, Achimota, whilst we can take maybe 1,002 or thereabout, you may get about 6,000 people who subscribe to Achimota, maybe 2,000 of them duly qualified to go in there. So as far as you have that issue, every year people will say, I didn't get my school and I have been put here, I have been put there. That is why we continue to make a few changes here and there, do reviews. Ghanaians say we should do review. We do the reviews every day and every time. Every year when we finish our placement, we do the review. So every year we improve on it. This year, for example, we gave the students the opportunity to choose 6 schools. Last year, it was 5 schools. The year before, it was 4 schools. Some years, it was 3 schools. It's all a way of getting as many students as possible to go into the schools of their choices. Because people go to schools based on choices, you always have situations where people will come and complain or lament and then feel frustrated because they didn't get their choice. The other interesting thing about the choices is that they take 6 choices, but a lot of them is about their first or at worst their second choice. If you don't get the first choice, then it means you didn't get anything. So we have situations where people will come to you and say, I didn't choose the school, but I've been put in there. But when you tell them to bring their placement form, you realize that they chose the school as a 4th choice or a 5th choice or a 6th choice. And for us, once it's your choice, it's one of your choices, it means if we put you there, you are willing to go. Overall, there were about 570,000 students that were to be placed. And as we speak now, about 505,000 of them have been placed. But those who have enrolled, I think is something about half of that number, because the enrollment has actually started with the school reopening. So as we go along, we'll get the update and then we can always update the public.
Did you know that government is phasing out the double track system? Well, according to the Ministry of Education, adequate preparations have been made to ensure that all first-year students who report to senior high school for the 2022-2023 academic year will not have to pass through the shift system. Professor Opokwa Mwankwa has been given further details.
The double track system, as we speak now, it's not in place. What we have in place is what we call the transitional calendar. The double track that you and I know, that will have green going, gold staying home, etc., is not in place. What we have now is what we call the transitional calendar. Transitional, and in 2 senses. One, we are trying to bring back our academic year to the September-October start, and then the June-July completion. And we need to do that because all the countries around us, especially those who subscribe to the WAEC exams, the WASI, for example, have gone back immediately after the COVID to their September-October start, and then their June-July completion. So what it means is that if you take Nigeria, you take Sierra Leone, you take Liberia, you take Gambia, as we speak now, they are in I think they are basically running trimester, and they are in their second term, whilst here we are in our first semester and then in first term for our basic schools. And so to be in line with them, what we have done is to do a calendar that will go over a period of 2-3 years. That is by 2024. If nothing happens again and we go as we're going now, then we come back to the regular period that we had before the COVID. Again, we also realized that the reason why we did the double track was to make sure that we can put up infrastructure to catch up with the numbers that were going to some of the schools, not all of our schools, not all of our 720 plus schools, but some of them where the subscriptions were very high. And those were the ones that, it's by choice, but generally most people want to go to those schools. So what we did then was to do this double track to offer as many people as possible the opportunity to go there. So what we did was that if you had if your school could take 500 students at a go, then we did a double track, and then we increased the number to 900 students. And then we put them into two, so 450, 450. So a school that was taking 500 could now take 900, additional 400 students. And we did not go to the extreme end because we wanted some space in the school so that we don't cause congestion. Now, with the new infrastructure that we've put in place, what we've been able to do is that now there is enough space for the entire 900 students to go at a stretch. Again, if we look at the permutations that we are doing, when we did our review and our analysis, we realized that whilst we have gold from 1 in and gold from 2 in, and then gold from green from 1 out, green from 2 in. If you do the analysis perfectly, you realize that it is almost like having the one group going together. So instead of having green from 1, stay home, and gold from 1, go with the gold from 2, you can equally put green and gold together to go as a stretch. So in the transitional calendar, at every given point, we look at the vacancy in the school, and at every given point, you have 2 streams of students going. So as we speak now, Form 3s are home. Form 2s and Form 1s are occupying the schools. At a point, Form 2s will come home, and then Form 3s will go to school. So at every point in time, you may have Form 1, Form 2 in school, or Form 2, Form 3 in school, or Form 1, Form 3 in school, depending on the capacity of the school. But let us also note that this is for the schools that were doing double track, but there were schools that were doing single track. And for the single track, what it means is that you have Form 1, Form 2, Form 3 still going together. Now, from the proposal that we've done, or from the arrangement that we've done, if we continue as it is now, then hopefully by 2024, we'll have all our schools going Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, as it has always been.
We took to the streets to sample your opinions about government's decision to scrap the double track system. Listen.
It's good he's taking it out because of this double track system, we were given long vacations and all that, and students took it as an opportunity not to learn. So I think it's a good idea that he's taking it out.
It's a good initiative because looking at our tracking system, it became difficult for us, like the Form 2s and the Form 3s now. We weren't able to at least recap certain things. Look at, because of double track, we've lost several topics in the syllabus which we've not covered. And right now, what's the side of us? So I'm glad it's been taken off. We thank the government for doing that.
It's good they are taking it out in the sense that this double track system gave students long vacation. For me like this, if I'm not coming to school, I don't get that time to learn. Maybe supposing I'm on vacation, see my parents run a restaurant and all that, I have to help them. But if you are coming to school, I get enough time to learn. So giving us that long vacation, most of the students might get a chance to go and do other stuffs. which is to the detriment of their education.
Let's say, for instance, as a club in the school, Righteous and Matrix Club, for instance, at then when the double track system was not in the system, we had many moments, like almost all the time, to be meeting. But since the introduction of the double track system, our club is not getting the time. We are no more getting out of the school to go for program, thereby making the school lose that. And as the saying goes, when most of the students are in the house doing nothing, the devil will surely find a work for either hand. So most of the students who will not be in the school at that moment are being working for the devil, since the devil will get a work for that either hand.
Now let's take a quick breather. We'll be back with our News in Focus segment.